Hello everyone, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go. I think I have my mic up a little bit too high. I'm just going to turn that down just a little bit. And welcome. So why don't we get kind of started with this right away? As I'm sure everybody is aware, our plan here is to go to Ike. Just going to fiddle with some windows, and there we go. Now I got everything set up the way I want. So our plan here is to be going to Ike, and this is the vehicle that I kind of about 98% built last week. So I want to just kind of go over what I have added to this thing since then. Number one was in the comments, somebody pointed out I had set up the experiments. Let's go to set the experiments up here, crude experiments. I had the float experiment here. Let me bring that up. And the flight experiment. And somebody pointed out in the chat that the float experiment is only, always got to get into the fine print of these. There it is. Only bodies allowed, home body and its moons, which is, I don't know, I guess it's for games where maybe you're playing in real solar system, but only Kerbin or Earth and its moons are you're allowed to perform. The float experiment, it's not allowed to be performed anywhere else, and since we were off to Duna and Ike, that makes this experiment relatively useless, especially considering that it takes 180 days to do. So we will not be spending nearly that amount of time in Kerbin's SOI, so it had to go. There is also the clam experiment, but the clam experiment is actually, which is this one? You're not allowed to do it but you have to do it in a situation of splashed, not in your home. So you got to go somewhere like with an ocean that's not Kerbin. So that experiment is useless. The wreck experiment also requires you to be splashed, and then that's it. So I had to take the float experiment out of the mix, so that's one of the things I did. Another thing that was suggested if I get into the inventory part is to pack a pile of struts. You can't see the image, but that's what those are. Those are struts. That was a good idea, so I did that. Other than that, what else did I do? Oh, and I just put lights on it. That's really all that happened to this thing. And I reconfigured some of the struts in this middle section so they look a little bit nicer. But really what's going to be going on this stream is, number one is to get this thing into orbit. Last stream we built this little lander. And in fact, I can get rid of that lander actually right now. It is on its own launcher. We built and test launched that last week. That's going to be fine. I've yet to build any kind of lifter to get this thing into orbit. So that's going to be our first challenge is going to be, yeah, this is a thing. This is a shape. Now I did time warp. Right up to my ejection window. Actually, I'm 2 days shy of my ejection window, so we're very close to our Kerbin to Duna transfer window, and so we got to get this up into orbit, we got to get the lander up into orbit, we got to get our Kerbals up into orbit, and yeah, that's going to be the thing. Now, just to go over a couple of things here, and then actually this will be my kind of last kind of look at this before we go, because I'm maybe a little bit nervous about this thing because I've never gone interplanetary with Kerbals with the Kerbalism mod. So I hope everything goes okay. That's all I gotta say. So we have, remember, the entire round trip journey is 2 years, 291 days, and if I turn on the greenhouse, I have 2 years, 399 days of food. Maybe what I should do, now that I'm looking at this, let's disable the greenhouse. Oh, you know what? It's close enough. It should be okay. Let's enable it again. I was thinking maybe I should add the food so that it's got 100 days. We should be fine. So it's got enough food. If I go to water, 2 years, 411 days of water. One of the things that I didn't factor into, I actually had way too much water on the previous craft because I didn't have the water recyclers turned on, and so it wasn't factoring into the fact that I'm so I was able to take off a lot of the water I put on last time. We have 2 years, 406 days of oxygen. Same thing for oxygen. The greenhouse actually produces a ton of oxygen. If I turn that off, you see I lose the amount of oxygen. So I was able to take off quite a lot of the oxygen that was on here and save a little bit of weight for that. Carbon dioxide is perpetual. I do need the carbon dioxide for the greenhouse, but it's going to be fine. Nitrogen is fine. I have a lot of nitrogen because we still have to pressurize this gravity ring. Ammonia we need for the greenhouse, but I'm producing that from some chemical processes that are going on in there. But I never went into this kind of stuff here. So stress, living space is poor, but I got me a feeling the moment I enable this habitat, yes, the living space goes to ideal. I have never seen ideal before. That is so exciting. Ideal. They have 24.08 cubic meters per capita per Kerbal. That is awesome. Their comfort level is ideal. Look at all those yeses. They have firm ground, which means they have some gravity under their feet thanks to the gravity ring. They can exercise. They're not alone. There's going to be 4 of them. By the way, as far as the Kerbals go, I decided for this final mission, we're going to go with the original. Oh, sorry, Dan. I just noticed you snuck in there. We're going to go with the original 4. So where did Bob go? Bob's up here. There we go. So we're going to go with the original 4. Sorry, Dan. I just noticed you were there. That's going to be our crew. So they're not alone. What else we got here? They can call home. That just means they have antennas. They have a panoramic view. That's thanks, I'm pretty sure, to the cupola module. They have plants. They certainly do. So 100. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Like, everything's pressurized, which is good. They have pressure for 23 years, so that should be fine. As far as the habitat goes, actually, can I stretch? Yeah, radiation protection is nominal. Nominal is good. That's fine. And oh, I can switch this to Duna, and it'll still say nominal, which is fine. Yep. Reliability is great. We have a ton of redundancy. We have an engineer aboard to fix stuff. 7% high? I don't know what that means. Should only get a malfunction every 12.9, almost 13 malfunctions per year, I'm guessing that says. But that's why we got an engineer aboard. And down here we have under the habitat, everything here is good. Environment here, atmosphere, everything here is good. I think that's it. But this is a really useful window for doing the planning. I honestly don't kind of look at that enough. So we're going to deflate this gravity ring. You actually can launch it with the gravity ring already in, but then that's a whole lot of drag, and I got me a feeling that drag might be more of an issue than I would like to admit with this. So the plan for getting this thing into orbit, just noticing, I hate when they get green. There we go. The plan for getting this thing into orbit is going to be really brute force. That's going to be the plan. I guess I can get a fairing to kind of close off this top part, make it a little bit aerodynamic, but trying to close in this in here, yeah, I'm not even going to try. So because this thing's going to have a lot of drag, including some sensitive parts like solar panels here, what I think I'm going to do is just overbuild the launcher, go up very, very steeply to get as quickly out of the thicker part of the atmosphere as I can, then pitch it over and go. So it ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be an ideal and efficient one, but I hope it will get the job done. So let's get started with, first of all, just closing up this top part. Actually, I think I'll get the 1.875 meter fairing base, like that. And then that should be able to just close off over here, right? Give me the close, give me the close. Doesn't like the cupola module. Well, I think I saw it. Try that again. There. See, place section, do I have to go further down? I don't think it likes that hatch. Damn, come on. Maybe get past this and then in. I can live with that, okay? We'll jack up the ejection force. Number of sides, put on the clamshell deploy. I should have that's the one I'm looking for right there. Great. Keep it all white for now. Okay, so that's it as far as fairings go. Let's put in a separatron. Actually, I'm going to put in 2 separatrons, and the job of these 2 separatrons is going to be to blow away the nose cone. We're going to take out almost all of this fuel, and I'm going to, let's actually tweak them under, like so. And then what I'll do is take one of those, remove it from the symmetry group, and then tweak that one a little bit further. And then that way the thrust is asymmetric. And what that means it should happen is it should push this nose cone out of the way. And hopefully. Remember to remove the Kerbals. Yes, Kerbals are going up in a separate vehicle. They're out. Must have jumped out when I moved the cupola module. Okay, so yes. So that takes care of that. Okay, on the bottom, let's just lift this up a little bit. On the bottom, noticing that and the fairing should be separate here. There we go. All I'm going to try, I'm going to keep, okay. Let's start with a 2.5 meter fairing. Open that up. Inside which I'm going to put an octo probe body. I just want to disable or deorbit this booster once it's all done. So that's really what this is about. And I'm not sure if I put a KOS probe core in here or not. I hope I did. I must have. Please tell me I did. We're going to assume I did. I think I did. I can't remember. We'll find out soon enough. Okay, we're going to put on a set of reaction wheels, which are the advanced inline stabilizers right there. That should be fine. And some batteries. I'm really thinking that's 200. That should be, that's good. And that. And again, the purpose of this is just, I'm going to close that. Just so this has some autonomy, and then we're going to put on, I suppose this. I have no plan, by the way. I'm hoping that's obvious. I have a pseudo plan. I have the barest inkling of a plan, and that's it. What do they say? I got, you know, 13% of a plan. Oh, don't forget to disable those nerve engines. Yeah, I will. Definitely. Thank you. They will not go off at launch. And underneath that, I guess I will put the old mainsail engine. And let's see what that kind of does for me. And I'm thinking, normally I budget myself around 35 to 3,600 meters per second for an ascent getting into low Kerbin orbit. I'm going to put that up around 4,000. So already that's 2,000. That's pretty good. Thrust to weight is, what, 8? Is that? Oh, I got just the nerves on the bottom there. This is all confused. There we go. That makes more sense. 1,182. Thrust to weight of 1.54. That's not bad. And then I'll probably just booster out, if you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. I think so. Okay, so then I'm thinking this might not be complicated. This might be stupidly simple. Is like that, like a three-way, because of the three-way symmetry that's already kind of inherent to this thing. And then we'll get our, arrange these by mass. This one. The twin bore. I've yet to unlock any of the sort of mammoth engines or anything like that. Oh, that's glitched into the struts. Okay, so what I shall do with that, use like a girder piece. Should be able to put that on the end here. There we go. just to get this out past there. And then definitely slide these down a little bit. So this might be, yeah, this ain't going to be pretty. There's just no way around it. But if it works, it works. That looks pretty centered, I think. A little bit this way. Okay. So, yeah, let's get all the engines going off at launch. And we'll use some Captain Asparagus staging. So, some fuel lines. You can actually do the asparagus staging without the fuel lines just by going in here and tweaking the fuel flow priority, but I kind of like not doing that. And then this needs to be on its own stage. There we go. So that gets me 2805, but a monstrous amount of thrust here on the bottom. So if I just start getting into more cans here until, you know, I'm up and around the, yeah. Maybe you? There's 4,000. Let's tweak it down. Like that. And where are the slanty ones? Oh, I can see I'm going to... Oh, well, maybe if I can see I'm gonna... I think I'm crashing into the gravity ring, but maybe if I just bring it down a bit, that'll be okay. Or I can come out further, but, you know, let's get... But that's 3941. That's a lot. And then the slanty nose cones on the top. And then maybe just tweak this whole mess down just so that... So just come down here. I could probably rotate that, but... No, that's fine. Just like that. But 3901, plenty of thrust still there on the bottom stage. Obviously, a whole lot of struts are going on this thing. I don't want to think about where the mass and the lifts... It doesn't even want to tell me where the lift is. Let's get some control fins on the bottom. Put these by name so I know where they are. These ones. I always find I have to put down the authority limiters on these. Okay. Well, like I said, we're going to be testing this. The tripod arrangement does make me wince a little bit. You mean this? It'll look good once it's up there, I think. Okay, I'm thinking just a lot of struts at this point. That's honestly what I'm thinking. I mean, let's just brute force and ignorance, as we used to say back when I was a kid. Brute force and ignorance. Okay, and then over to here. Oh, it doesn't like the batteries. Does not like those batteries. Okay. Well, we'll see what this is like. We'll do a test launch, and, you know, if she blows up, she blows up, and if she doesn't, that'd be great. Oh, wait, Separatrons, because these boosters aren't going to want to separate on their own by any stretch. So Separatrons. Okay, so I'm going to guess around here-ish. There, and... we'll see what happens. Okay, clearly the launch thrust is going to be way too big, so we're going to tweak down just these engines. So a launch thrust of about 1.33. All right. Now, I wouldn't get in it, but, you know, It's going to go up autonomously. Okay. Oh, welcome aboard there, Desert Shark Hunter. Thank you very much for becoming a YouTube member. Awesome. Maybe, who knows, maybe this will even go and on his first try. Wouldn't that be weird? All right, we're going to put in some action groups here. I'm going to put the staging on the... and deploy, undock that, and then fire off those. I'm putting that on action group 5. I like to sort of fairing deploy just on an action group because then you don't have to try and figure out where it needs to fit in the staging. Other than that, I guess I can put a smart part on here. Why not? I should have a DrainX. There it is. And that will do the staging automatically for me. Oh boy, it doesn't. It wants to go to three-way symmetry there. There we go. And a last look here at the fuel flow priority. This is a -10. These should all be higher numbers. So that is 20, 30, 30, and 30. That's okay. So these tanks will drain first. Okay, so let's move the DrainX to here then. Or I could adjust it, but... I find that the fuel lines get a little messed up when you use the twin bores. I have no idea why. Okay, we're going to save this. Let's see. I got fairing deploy, staying, yeah, so we can lose our checklist here. We're going to save this. We're going to run it in our crash simulator. And we're going to see what happens. Well, welcome aboard, Desert Shark Hunter, and thank you very much. Check that second Sepratron, says Mark. I don't think the position is quite right. Okay, I will. I will take a look at that. I find the hardest time for me to read the chat is during builds, because I always worried that the game is getting so boring during builds, and I'm so concentrating just on the builds. And, okay, so I obviously do have my KOS core on here. Oh, I noticed Kerbal Engineer. Gotta fix that. If you've ever seen my shorts that I do of launches, I have a little display window there just for the shorts, and I often forget to put it back. Okay, so SAS on, throttle up. Oh my god, this is kind of hard to see. Let's put it on locked, because I find you can see the wobble a lot better if you just kind of do that. And let's just see what happens. So the goal here, oh, I should refix this staging. Staging's a little goofy. There we go. The goal here, I think that's right. Yes. Yes, okay. Is just to go up. Quite high. Okay, it seems shockingly stiff. I thought it'd be more wobbly than this, but it seems to be doing pretty good that way. So I'm really going to do a very steep ascent, because I'm very worried about all of the drag on all of this stuff, especially vulnerable solar panels and things like that. So through the thicker atmosphere, we'll go over maybe a little bit. Okay, I can control it. Okay, lock that unplug right. Oh, whoa. Kind of wanted to... Okay, let's get out of this. There we go. I noticed... I don't know, I felt like I was losing it there for a little bit. Oh my gosh, I need more aerodynamics. There it goes. Goodbye. Goodbye. More reaction wheels, more aerodynamic surfaces. Okay, terminate the simulation. This is why we... Yep. I thought it felt a little bit wonky. Vehicle assembly building. I know Waterfall makes the sound of those motors great. Okay. So, we lost. I think the... I mean, it tells me the lift is down here, but it's just not taking into account the drag on all of these parts. I could just simply put in more reaction wheels. That might not be dumb. That might be actually quite far from dumb. So I think just do that, and then back. That's it. More reaction, double up those reaction wheels, and then I think at the same time, why not more of these too? When in doubt, more reaction wheels, more of those. Okay, we will fix up our staging. There was something with the... Yeah, there's a little bit off kilter there with the... You can see that with the Separatrons. I think I just need to take... Oh my gosh, they're terrible. Okay. These Separatrons are terrible. Oops, that's not what I want. Not even on the side of the... They weren't even pointing the right way. That is much, well, maybe even a little more this way. That might be too far. Yeah, let me put it back. Okay, I think that's better on the Separatrons. Okay. That is that, and that, and that. I hope. We'll see. How much does this thing... Oh, this thing's not costing. I was worried a little bit about... Why am I worried about money? 4.7 million Kerb bucks, for goodness sakes. Okay. Let's try it again. Simulate. Use a bigger reaction wheels. I don't think I have... I'll have to check again. Clay's saying use the bigger reaction wheels. I don't think I have the 2.5 meter reaction wheels. I think I have... My biggest are the 1.875. So that's why I just doubled up the 1.25 ones, but I could take a look. This might be good enough. Okay, I'm not going to put it on. Don't need you. Because clearly my launch script, I have a launch script, but it ain't going to handle this thing. Off we go. And I think I'm going to go up higher before I do the... Really pick up some speed. Can I put on the aerodynamic overlay? Yeah, I can. I don't know if we'll see it in this mode. Oh yeah, it's starting to see the little arrows there. I'm curious to see where all that drag is coming from. I mean, this gravity ring's got to be terrible. So, really, let's just... Oh, I don't like the sort of flashiness that's happening. Just up, up, up. Up, up, up. Okay, now knock it over just a little bit. Whoa! Jeepers! It's going. It's going. I'm yawing right over and I'm losing it. Oh my gosh. I think... Okay, let's terminate. Restart the simulation. Let's just go straight up. Straight up. As long as this thing is stupid overbuilt, I don't have to worry about being efficient. Start the gravity turn at over 22 kilometers. I think that is a good idea, Clay. I do. I'm leaning in that direction. Again, straight up. I think there's just a lot of drag up here that just isn't being factored in, and I'm just ignoring. I'm just not like in the where the center of drag is and all that stuff. Anybody remember the old days where it used to be? I could lock the prograde, but then it tends to actually want to drift wherever the prograde drifts. So I'm just doing my best. Can I keep it on my going straight up? I don't want to start drifting, you know, north or south or west or anything like that. So just straight up. Straight up, straight up. I was about to say, did anybody remember the old days? The old days. KSP, where you used to, where they had the goofiest, soupiest aerodynamic model, and it was actually most efficient to go up to about 10 kilometers in altitude and then knock it over 45 degrees. So you'll find old tutorial videos talking about getting into orbit that do exactly that. Okay, I'm just going to keep going like this. I'm I'm looking at the aerodynamic pressure. I can probably now lock into prograde. I should keep an eye on my apoapsis. Around 90 kilometers is what I'm shooting for. Okay, I'm going to start knocking it over. The question is, do I have enough fuel for all of this nonsense? Let's reduce throttle. So already I'm at 60 kilometers. Or 70 kilometers from my apoapsis now. Oh, whoa, lock into oh my gosh. It just, okay, it seemed to do that. I can knock over obviously more aggressively than that. It just, I had it locked to prograde and it switched to orbit mode here. Okay, there we go. We're over 90 kilometers. This is going to be an exceedingly inefficient ascent here. So we'll time warp up. I could have knocked over earlier. Oh, I can lose the bearing. That's not doing anything. Okay, so we are on pitch down. We're about 40. Oh my god, I really should start burning. We're about 45 seconds. 40 seconds. Just start going. Oh my gosh, that's not fair. Oh, 2 engine malfunctions. Revert flight. Terminate the simulation. Two engine malfunctions there. Probably the number of ignitions on those engines is very low. Oh, that's so unfair. That's so unfair. What do we got here? Yeah, we only have one, so we got to up the quality here. Let's see. Where is the engine quality? Got to put those on high. Now I got 2 ignitions. Okay, so yeah, these engines aren't built for relight. I should do the same thing with the mainsail. Put that up to high quality. That did give me a knock on the Delta V department, so what I think I shall do is just put on a little bit more fuel. Is that starting to touch that? It is, so we'll tweak this down a little bit. We'll get her up there. Okay, so that is now closer to 4,000. All right, bump, 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 bump. I should look at thrust to weight again because I've been adding weight to this thing. There we go. All right. Oh, well, maybe third time's a charm, I hope. Maybe. Yeah, I know. Louis pointing out, and that's another reason he's concerned about having enough fuel to circular. I think I need to pitch over harder. Let's take a look at those reaction wheels. Maybe. So my, oh, I do. That's the medium size. Oh, there's the big ones. Okay, let's do this again. Right here. I do have the big ones. There we go. That's a lot of reaction wheels. Okay, third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. Okay, simulate again. I should have realized it wasn't going to work the first time. That's just silly. But I think I can pitch over more aggressively. Hi, Wolfie. Glad you made it. All right. This, oh, why are we getting, oh, we're getting some bounciness in there. Kind of hard to see what's exactly going on from putting in those extra reaction wheels. Okay, whatever. We'll see what happens here. There is some bounciness happening right in the middle there. Some bounciness. Now it's wobbly again. Well, actually, it was never wobbly before, but now it is wobbly. All I did was put in those reaction wheels, so... Or maybe... I don't know. It looks like all the struts are still there, so... Maybe a little auto-strutting might be in order. Yeah, I think I can pitch over more aggressively as well, James. I agree. But you can see there's a little bit of oscillating happening here on the Navball. So definitely want to deal with that. So probably some auto strutting will take care of that, but we'll still try and see if we can get this thing in orbit. Okay, where are we at? We're almost at... Okay, so let's start pitching over. We're just hitting 9 kilometers. Oh no, that was dumb. There we go. Oh my gosh. Huh. May want to watch the electricity. Well, yeah. There is a lot of electrical storage, though, on this thing. So I don't think that's the issue. I just think that there's a really stupid amount of drag in this zone here. Now, why was that? See, all the struts, I think, are still attached, right? But it was really, oh, a little different here. Let's redo these struts. So that strut, they're a little different now that I put in that extra. That strut. Oh wait, these should have been 3-way symmetry. That strut and that strut. Don't know if that was the reason, but I think I might do a little, because it was right in here. I was adding this reaction wheel. I think I'm going to do a little auto strutting. The auto strutting, honestly, I think sometimes it's necessary, but I always feel guilty when I do it. Okay. I don't use it a lot, or try to. Alright, I don't know. Where are we at? Okay. Save this. Come on. Perhaps use the launch script? You think so? John says use the launch script. You know what? Let's use the launch script. Let's see what it makes of this. I don't have high hopes, but just for, you know, shites and giggles, yeah, let's do the launch script. If at the very least it'll be entertaining. Though wouldn't it be something if it actually did it? So launch script uses a much more normal type of, so run launch 0 inclination, 90-degree altitude, normal attitude. There we go. Let's see what happens. So we can place our bets as to how long this is going to last. It's already wobbly. That's a bad sign. Why is this suddenly so wobbly? Oh, it aborted. Here. Let's restart. We'll try that again. I'm going to turn down the gimbaling on those engines. Yeah, it was amusing. So the issue always with scripts, because I don't use a PID controller because I'm not that good at coding, is overcorrecting. There's always that issue of overcorrecting, so I find just turning down the gimbal limit on these motors does help with that. So we'll use the launch script one more time. But regardless of what happens, I mean, unless it works, I suppose. But if this doesn't work, I'm going to go back to a manual one. That should hopefully help with the wobbling. This time it seemed to be wobbling at the top. Ah, yeah, that's better. See what the launch script does? Who knows? Oh, it aborted again. Why did it abort? I don't know. I think it's wobbling too much. You can see how safe my abort script is. It's going to just drop it right back on top of the launch pad. Cancel. Restart simulation. Okay. Reduce the pitch controls on the reaction wheels and gimbals. Reaction wheels too, you think? But then don't you want... Isn't that the whole reason of putting on so many reaction wheels is to... I'm not going to use the script. No more script. No more script. Maybe do just a normal ascent. I don't know. Why not? Maybe try not to be so, you know, just lock her to prograde and hope for the best. I don't know. Maybe that's not a dumb idea. Let's get up around 200 meters per second and I'll do a tiny pitch over. See how she does. Say 150 meters per second. I changed my mind. I'm getting impatient. So a tiny, tiny pitch over. Tiny, 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 tiny. Tiny, 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 tiny. Come back, come back. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Come back. Tiny, tiny. Lock the prograde, lock the prograde, lock the prograde, lock the prograde. Let's just leave it. This is still going to be super steep. Really like itsy bitsy teeny weeny little adjustments. Just sitting on the center of this. Just trying to get my heading to be a little better. Really wants to drift kind of southwards, which I don't like. Okay, I'm going to reduce thrust. Time to apoapsis is like over a minute, so I'm just going to reduce throttle. Probably be more aggressive now. I think it's much the same situation I had with that one where the engines failed. Okay, 70 kilometers on. Oh, there it goes again. That can be way more aggressive if it can do that on its own. Almost at my target apoapsis. There we go. Target apoapsis is reached. What is my inclination? Inclination's 0.6 degrees, which isn't super. I guess that's not bad. But of course the concern is, what do we got left here? We got 617... I don't know, 1750 to circularize this whole thing. Okay, let's get rid of the nose cone. Take it off of here, put it down to the horizon. Of course, we got a lot of burning to do here. Well, we got to get up to about 2,000, what is it, 22 something meters per second? I don't have enough. I don't think there's enough fuel. I think we got to rethink this. I think I got to stiffen this, and I think I got to work this. I don't think there's enough fuel for this. Look at the... Oh! Yeah, I think I'm going to come just short, but it's not terrible. I think I'm going to be close. I'm looking at my speed and looking at the delta V I got left. Maybe just add more fuel. Oh, look how wobbly this is. For goodness sakes. I need some struts in here. Look at this oogling back and forth. That ain't good. I'm not far off, though. Yeah, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Well, now I know where my wobbling is. Oh my gosh, once I lost those radial boosters. Okay, we're off, but we're not far. We didn't... Okay, we can do this. Well, better do this. I'm doing this, aren't I? Okay, terminate simulation. Yeah, it's 2,200 and change, like 2,220 something meters per second for the orbital velocity. More for 90 kilometers is true too, Louis. Yeah, that is true. Okay, so clearly, though, there was a lot of wobbling in here. So this wasn't pretty. Oh, for goodness sakes! I'm a bonehead. I'm just connected by a docking port here. Oh, for goodness sakes. No wonder I'm... Oh! Oh! It's just a docking port. That's my connector. Of course it's wobbly. What am I even thinking about? Okay, what I'm thinking. Okay, what I'm thinking. I might add just a little more fuel. Let's replace that. I can't believe I connected with a docking port. I'm amazed now, looking at that. There. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised now that that worked at all. That's not right. And it's just touching, so we'll just, again, just a hair more down. I shouldn't be so fuel stingy because this thing has a lot of thrust. I mean, I can add on lots and lots more fuel, but I'm hoping this will do a lot to kind of stiffen all this. Let's probably have to up the thrust a bit. So now I'm over 4,000 meters per second, but I'm thinking that might take out a lot of that wobble. That is the port for the lander, Michael. Yes, the lander's meant to dock back here. I just stuck to it, and I probably thought, well, who the heck knows what I think sometimes, but I clearly should be strutting that. That's just dumb. Okay, so... You know what? I think I'm going to live on the edge. We don't have Kerbals. We have lots of money. I think I'm going to go for it. I think I was close enough that time. And if we see things crashing and burning, it might be entertaining, right? I think I'm going to go for it. So, we're going to launch. Like, I mean launch. Struts are gone. Struts are gone. Rob says struts are gone. Hey there, Javier. Welcome. Glad you made it. I'm hearing struts are gone. This lifter's taking longer than I was anticipating, which of course, what else is new? What struts are gone? Did I lose some struts? Rob says some struts are gone. Let's just see. Fortunately now, yeah, it's bouncy. She's a bouncy, so there's definitely... Yeah, I lost the struts here at the top. Let's revert. We're rolling back. This is like a rolling back down the crawler way. Somebody's saying, you didn't put struts on. I was going to recover, and then that'd be dumb. I was going to launch, actually, but that would have been just a disaster. But my struts up here at the top here disappeared. Oh, of course they did, because I took those tanks off. That's why I got you guys around. Okay. Boop, boop. One day. One day. Actually, this looks a lot more promising, I think. I think that's a better way to do it anyway. All right. Lunch. Faster than Artemis 1. We have a leaky valve. Roll it back. Somebody's got to tighten that bolt. Just getting tired of these non-launches. What about some SRBs on the sides of the twin bore, says Mark. Yeah. Honestly, like, that'll work too. I mean, I have, again, no shortage of thrust on these twin bores. Like, I have them turned down to 70%. So I could, for sure, I could just keep building this higher. There's nothing to stop that from, you know. But here, we're going to go. We're going to go. And we're going to go. So... And this is a, like, launch now. Like, if this, I'm not reverting back to the launch pad. If this blows up, it blows up. It already feels better because I don't have this stupid docking port wobble. No wonder it was wobbling in there. That was just... What a melon head. Okay, I am going to still just go up, though. Up for a while here. And I'm sure... Oh, I don't know. There's aerodynamic forces going everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to pitch over. Hang on. Don't lock the prograde. It seems to want to... Yeah. Oh my gosh, it does want to flip. I can feel it wanting to flip right now. Just keep it locked on that prograde vector. Don't go too far. Momentarily being distracted by those gorgeous plumes. We just keep going up. Get out of this stupid part of the atmosphere. Reduce throttle. Reduce throttle some more. Keeping the apple axis a little closer. Probably start... Oh, this thing is... It's a thing. Let's just call it a thing and leave it at that. Back on that prograde. Oh, there it goes onto the orbital one. See, I'm so paranoid, and then it just does this. I shouldn't be so paranoid. Right on 90-degree heading somehow. I mean, I guess there's that. Somehow. I keep reducing this throttle here. Okay, let's lose that. And I'm watching, I'm at just getting to 84 kilometers on that apple axis. Not that far ahead of me, though. Right on. Now, what's my inclination? 0.42? It's probably way better than it has any right to be. Okay, just about at that target 90 kilometers. There we go. Now, the whole question is, do I have the fuel to circularize? I'm hoping I do. Okay, oh, whoa, whoa. Get down, get down. We're going to be pumping this pretty soon. Put it on the horizon and probably... Where are we at? Let's punch it. It's just about 40 seconds to apoapsis. So I'm just going to hit it. Hit it. Right on that. It's got a lot of burning to do. Maybe pitch up a little bit. Well, maybe not. Pitch down a little bit. Use that. Don't have that stupid wobble this time. That's a good sign. Okay, locking on prograde. So where am I at? I'm over. Oh, she's gonna be close again. I could do the final bit just with the nerves, I suppose. I don't want to. Pitching up a little bit, it's getting a little too close to apoapsis. It's going to be very close. I'm pitching up just a little. Oh, we're gonna just run out. Doing here. I don't have this on a staging thing. Undock. Doing it on the nerves. I don't know if this is smart or not. We're just on the nerves now. But we're so close. Of course, now I'm using the I'm using fuel that's supposed to be getting me going to Duna. But it is overbuilt for going to Duna, so I'm hoping this is okay. We're also going down, which is... Oh, but our apoapsis is all pretty high. I think it's okay. Okay, here it comes. Just... I want to bring that apoapsis down. That's not doing it. I'm past my apoapsis. Maybe it's the other way. What a mess. It's going to be a messy. Okay, whatever. I'm 100 by 86. That ain't pretty. 3908 meters per second left in this thing. That's, of course, sans a lander. But it's in an orbit. What? You know what? Shoot. I think I should take a little bit of time to just clean this up. I think it's going to be okay. Takes extra fuel up with the crew. Yeah. You know what? And the lander will definitely have extra fuel. The lander itself will have extra fuel. I know that thing's built decent like. What I think I shall do... Here, let's get rid of... I want to just clean this orbit up a bit. Probably, you know what? Radially out, I think, is the way to go right now. So I want to just push up my periapsis and bring down my apoapsis. Actually, my semi-major axis is very close to what I want it to be, so this might just work. Just don't want to burn too much fuel doing this. So we're burning straight out. Oh, I should be... Oh, 90 kilometers exactly. Watch the ignitions here. We'll have an engineer service that. Okay, let's get to... What's... My inclination ain't terrible. So, am I anywhere near... I'm getting very close to the equatorial ascending node. I just know the better I can get this, the easier that transfer is going to be. But yeah, I'll just bring up some extra fuel. This thing is in orbit. It'll work. It'll work. Yeah. Yeah, John is saying, you know, once this is always a strat. Once you are in orbit, like, everything becomes like, oh, I can fix it. I can fix this. I can fix this. What a dopey thing, though. Ascending node, so I want to go anti-normal. I'm just going to bring my inclination down. I'm going to do all this kind of fixing right now, and then we'll bring up that lander, and then we'll bring up our crew. We can put on our lights. Light her up. I'll get an engineer to service these engines because of all these burns. I built that booster with the idea of returning it to the atmosphere. So I put a probe body and batteries and junk on it, but... Well, it is returning to the atmosphere. I can give it that. Okay, let's bring down our inclination. Inclination is now at pretty much 0. And then all I got to do now is get myself to periapsis and burn retrograde a little bit. And everything is ducky. He's talking about electricity. Well, listen, I got 11,000 electrical storage on this, so I know electricity is not an issue. Okay, it was stupid looking going up, but I don't think it's bad now. I think now it looks okay. So now it's going to my periapsis, which is pretty much at the altitude I want, and I'm going to burn retrograde. We'll get ourselves a 90 by 90 orbit, bring up the lander. Lander's next. The lander should have, like... Oh. Well, I used up about 1,000 units of liquid fuel. That's quite a lot. When will I start inflating the ring? I think I'll start inflating the ring. I think I'll wait until we perform our Kerbal ejection. And then I'll start inflating that ring. I couldn't even imagine doing that launch with that ring. That would have been, I'm sure, a gong show. Okay, where are we at? Oh, periapsis almost there. Okay, that is very much 90 by 90 as far as I'm concerned. We'll lock that on, or just keep SAS on. I think this thing should be fine. Still has 3873 meters per second left. And my budget is 3,330. Now that's, of course, no lander and no Kerbals on here yet, so it's going to come down. I don't think it's that bad. The gravity ring is pretty good. Cool. It actually spins once it's inflated as well, which I think is neat. Very neat. Okay, the rest of this should be much, much, much less the gong show. Much less a gong show because this lander... Oh, why? You know, it used to recover that kind of stuff automatically, and now for whatever reason it's not. I don't know if it was a game upgrade or something that did that, but maybe it's something in the settings. It's something I never used to think about. I have not missed. Mark says it looks like I've missed my Kerbin to Duna window. It is not. If I bring up my alarm clock, I know it looks like that. But this alarm had a 2-day, I don't know, a buffer on it or whatever. The actual event is still in a couple more days. So no, I have not missed my window. It's about 2 days away. Even though the alarm has gone by. I know that's confusing, but it's fine. That's the short of it. Okay, Ike Lander. She said best be fine, or else I'm really kind of annoyed. I did that time warping before the stream started. Okay, Ike Lander, Ike Lander, Ike Lander. My very, very orange Ike Lander. Nobody is to ride aboard this thing, and we should be able to just launch it. We built that yesterday, or last week. The launch window is pretty big. There's a lot of flexibility for the launch window. Yeah, you can go a few days either way. It's not an issue. Not an issue. All right, so this is our lander, and the script should work for you. We have, oh my gosh, what is all of this stuff? Okay, is it a ship that's in orbit here? It sure is. Okay, so we're gonna set that as a target. I suppose I'll just time warp that around. I was thinking of just actually launching right away. It would have been probably okay, but let's err on the side of safety. Yeah, it would have been fine. I should have just launched. What am I doing? I should have just launched. Next time I'll launch. There we go. Okay. So, I'm gonna go into a 75-kilometer orbit. I think that should be good. And that leaves me some wiggle room underneath the ship. So I'm just going to wait for the target icon to just... I don't know why. I always wait for it to get to the end of the birdie wing here. And then I punch it. Should be okay. What is the Ike Lander CPU? Asks Ender Games. This is a mod called KOS, Kerbal Operating System. It is a scripting language that works within the game. So what I've done is I wrote myself a launch script to deal with more routine launches than that last idiot launch that we just saw. And it's now running the script, so I'm not doing the flying. My computer program I wrote is doing the flying. And I have some scripts to do some other things, orienting vessels for solar panels, executing maneuvers, a few other things. You're just really limited just really with your own imagination and comp size skills when it comes to it. It's pretty cool. But that's what this is. I know it says up here Ike Lander CPU, but the mod is KOS. This is just this little console window. There's a CPU on the ship, and that's why it says that. You can have multiple CPUs running multiple programs if you wanted to. And I can't show you the program because the program's actually running right now. But that's okay. All right, I think it was only a week ago this thing flew, and it flew fine, as I recall, but somehow I'm just nervous. Something's gonna go wrong. Like, for instance, this engine failing. Did I upgrade the engine? I don't know if I upgraded the engine. I should have. So doesn't this look a lot more sane? You know, I was even considering if I go to, while this is all launching, if I go to my launch window information here, for the ejection, it's a 1,043 meters per second ejection, 1,034.4 of that being prograde, and 133.6 of that being normal. you can actually eliminate the normal component of this ejection by putting yourself into an appropriate inclination. That's why it has this insertion inclination. If you make the inclination negative 1.79 degrees and also get the ascending and descending nodes in the right spot, which isn't too hard. They just need to be 90 degrees from the ejection angle. I even have a script that actually works out when to do your launch, so that'll all work out. Okay. And that will save me a whole about 11 meters per second of delta V if I did that. Instead of the ejection being 1,043, it'll be 1,034. So the reason I didn't do that is, number one, it only saves you 11 meters per second of delta V. Number two, that would have required putting that stupid thing I just flew into a very precisely inclined orbit, and I had no faith in my ability to do that. So I think I'm better off not doing that. I think I'm going to come... Oh, this is ending early. Hopefully it'll be okay. We've hit our target apoapsis, but we're still in the atmosphere, so we're going to lose a little bit of altitude. A little bit of wobbling happening, too. That's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. I'm worried about nothing. Okay, there we go. Lander's getting all set for the insertion. A 421 meters per second left, and there's still 782 meters per second left in this booster, so that's where my extra fuel is going to come from, right there. I'm going to steal the liquid fuel that's left over from this booster. Ender Games is asking, do you do it in a separate editor? You can do it in game, but the interface in the game is you could do either, as Michael is saying. But the in-game one's a bit of a pain. I do it with an external editor. Any kind of text editor will do. Though, of course, you can just use specifically coding ones, too. Might have to retract the solar panels when docking with the mothership. I certainly hope not, because these solar panels don't retract. They're gonna break off rather than retract. So well, you know, we'll find out what happens. I'm just realizing too, I'm gonna have an issue. This thing's down to 0 ignitions. Frickety frackety froo. Okay, so my issue, that gone into orbit just super, but this engine is not built for multiple. I don't know if I didn't, but it's got 0 ignitions left. I still got to do the rendezvous, but I think the odds of me successfully pulling off that rendezvous is pretty close to 0. What I could do, and what I think might be the smarter thing to do, though this is getting more complicated by the minute, is to bring up my crew and do something about this engine before I do anything else. Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay. Yeah, because there's... shoot. If I fire this engine off, there's a very good chance it's going to fail. And then I got to slow down when I go to do the rendezvous. I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I'm gonna go back to the Space Center. I'm not gonna perform the rendezvous. I'm gonna get up and oh my gosh. I'm gonna get up and this is getting so stupid. Oh boy, oh boy. I was hoping, I'm looking at the time, we might still get to Duna before this is all done. Once we get everything set up, it should go quick, right? It's in a stable orbit, so that gives you the ability to do all kinds of stuff. Okay, let's get into here. And what I'm going to look at is my crewed vessel, and I'm thinking about sending up an engineer. I don't want to build anything. I have a number of vessels that can get into low Kerbin orbit, but I want to do it quickly. I got a space plane, but it doesn't do things quickly. I know what up. Yeah, no, I think. Yeah. No, we're gonna. Yeah, go into here. This is my space plane. So we're gonna put our crew up right now. Well, actually, why don't we time warp a little bit? Here, I know what we'll do. Let's get out of here. Yeah, I got the good old Pug 3A. I do have a number of old vessels that could get up there, but then that's going to be another launch. You know what? Let's get the crew. Well, time warp. I got me an idea. So if I grab the Ike one, go to it right now. This will give me a good idea when the ejection's coming. And then we'll time warp so we're close to the ejection. We'll bring up the crew. That way the crew uses up a minimal amount of life support. And their first job is going to be to shuffle all these bits together. Shuffle the bits together, as it were. Will all the crew fit in the lander? No. Only 2 crew will fit in the lander. So this is going to be... We're going to have a couple of Michael Collinses in this thing. So what I'm doing here is if I open up this, open this up, and I love this show the ejection angle. Look at that. Isn't that great? There's also the, if you come out here, show the phase angle. So if you want to just time warp until the green line is on the blue line, then you're at the right phase angle. So you can see I'm still not quite there. I'm still a couple of days short. But we can set this maneuver up right now. Let's show the ejection angle again. So the ejection angle shows you where to put the maneuver. So the maneuver goes right here. Well, it'll be a little off from that because it's actually going to be a couple of days in the future. And then what we're going to do is hop ahead orbits until this is like 2 days in the future, or approximately that. There actually is a time here, right? Time to event 1 day, 4 hours, and 37 minutes. So we can back off a little bit. 1 day, 4 hours, and 37. There's 1 day, 4 hours, and 35 minutes. And then I should be able to just simply put in the numbers here. It won't be exact, but it should be pretty close. So the prograde is 134.4. 1034.4. And the normal component is 133.6. Takes out all that guesswork. Let's see how close that comes. Move this out. Here, just close this. Oh, let's set Duna as a target. I don't think it's quite there. Probably because the timing just isn't right. So, get on here. Start moving ahead in time. No. Backwards in time. I think I need a little more prograde, to be honest. Or maybe ahead in orbit. What happens if I pop ahead 1 orbit? That's not making it better. Okay, let's a little bit more prograde. There we are. We'll make her work. So I just want to set this up now so I know when this burn is going to be, and then we'll time warp so we're closer. I think you understand what I'm talking about. What am I doing? Oh, I want to get that maneuver back. Either way, a lot better than the kind of guesswork you have to do in... I think I'm off a little bit. Let's see, time. Ah, there we go. There we go. Focus view. Wah. Okay, back on the maneuver again. Oh, that was let's do 1 second intervals here. That makes it further. This is making it closer. That's about as good as that's going to get. That's actually not bad. We can deal with the rest in an orbital. Of course, our target really is Ike, but we're obviously going to have to make some sort of a plane change on the way. Can I do that here? I typically find the plane changes are better. Oh, that does something. And whoa, this way. No, I'm not helping. I'm not helping. Oh, shoot. Go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should put the normal back to what it was. That was a mistake. Normal should be 133.6. Should have known better. There. I'm going to live with that. We'll do a correction on the way out. So this burn's coming out in 1 day and 4 hours. It's 1,048 meters per second, which is pretty darn close to what the prediction was. So what I'm going to do is set up an alarm. Close this alarm details for the maneuver. So add an alarm. Give myself 3 hours notice. Okay. Now let's get back to the Space Center. What do the plus and minus orbit buttons do? They hop the maneuver ahead or back exactly 1 orbit of whatever orbit the maneuver's in. Really, really handy. So that was how I was quickly able to get that maneuver an extra 2 days out. Gotta inflate the ring. I'll inflate the ring. We'll wait till we'll wait till after the ejection. Until everyone's aboard. We need people to supervise the inflation of the ring. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go ahead to there. So that's our 3-hour warning to that maneuver. Looking like we're going to have a night launch. I hope that's okay. Okay, and I guess we can get rid of this now. And then we need to get our space plane. Well, thank you, Nicholas. Saying he really that my videos are helpful. Yeah, I'm glad they help. All right, so now we are getting the dart. We are crewing it up, and we're crewing it up with the original 4. So we're going to have Jeb and Val in the cockpit. Bill and Bob are in the seats at the back. I just want to check cargo that I don't have anything stupid in here, that I've done something like the last time I think everything should be good. All right. So, yeah, that's good, good, good. Save. Launch. Yep. And our first target's going to be that lander. I should have thought about the fact that I can't use that mainsail engine as a use that mainsail engine as an engine for rendezvousing. I should have used my head on that one, but you can't think of everything, right? So this is going to be a night launch. Put the brakes on. Let's get everything going. Lights on. Alarm clock, go away. Okay. So these guys are ready and excited and excellent. Yep, okay. So what we need is our target is going to be the lander. That's not the lander button. That's the lander. So this is what we're going for. And I'm thinking it's only in a 75-kilometer orbit. So probably my best bet is to launch a bit ahead of it and into a bit of a higher orbit. I'm thinking like a 90, be ahead of it. The plane takes a while to get up, so I think probably launching now would be a good idea. So I do have a space plane launch program, so space plane launch. I think I put in inclination and altitude, and that is it. And hopefully this will work. It's been a little while. I always forget. Okay, that's a good sign. And we're off. So again, this is KOS. This is not the most brilliant of scripts. It was something I kind of cobbled together. And I know it's not the most efficient thing in the world. But I like to have the ability to, you know, just kind of run this. So I put in 90, did I not? I put in 90. Maybe did I type in 70? I don't have anything here that tells me what I put in. I hope I put in 90. If not, I mean, it's pretty easy to fire up these engines and push it up to 90, right? If it's 70 would be sketchy. 70 would be just barely out of the atmosphere. No, you think Mark thinks I did 90. I better not have done 70 because we'll deal. We'll deal. Is the spaceplane script in my GitHub? James is asking. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. If it's not, I'll add it. Like, obviously not at this moment, but if it's not, let me know in the Discord and I'll add it for sure. Look at all there's this weird haze that comes off these lights. It's like you're flying through a light fog. It's like that all the time. No problem, Louis. So the goal here, in case you're not piecing together from my ramblings, is this is going to meet up with the lander. Bill is going to get out. He's going to service that engine so it can continue to fire and have ignitions. I think I'm going to leave Bill in the lander. So Bill is going to fly the lander over to the Ike 1, and then these guys, Jet, Valentina, and Bob, the rest of our crew, is going to, maybe I should put some, but maybe I'll put Valentina with Bill or something. But the rest of these folks are also going to go to the Ike 1, and then hopefully we'll all round up there and everything will be ready to get ourselves out towards Duna. Okay, see ya, Wolfie. Have a good nap. Glad you can make it. Yeah, I think it is Scatterer that puts in these light hazes, but there was an update. It didn't used to have these little hazes. I also noticed that the little lens flares are just off where the actual lights are. You see that? There's the lens flares there, but the light is there. If you stay far away, it looks good, but if you come in too close, it looks kind of funny. You wouldn't trust Valentina. Well, Valentina's, I don't think I should put Bill in by himself, so. Valentina going to be with Bob or be with Bill? One of the two. Does Valentina and Bob have a history? Oh, I'm very happy to hear that, Dave. The one thing about the this game, KSP 1, is it really doesn't teach you much. I mean, you learn a lot. There's no doubt about it. You learn through failure, and I hope that's still a good part of the model in KSP 2. But the learning curve to just get yourself to be functional is pretty brutal. And I think you really do. The game really does rely on having an external community to help you out with, like, how do I build a rocket that doesn't flip over, and how do I get to orbit, because none of that's, and how do I maneuver in space, because none of that stuff is intuitive. If you're into science fiction movies, the vast majority of them aren't going to help you at all, because they don't even deal with it. Even the good, like, yeah, whether they're good movies or not. But you do end up learning a lot in this game. It's just it's learning through errors. That's for sure. I'm hoping KSP2 will be a little bit kinder, but not, I don't know, not too much more kind. You know, you don't want it to be. You want to have that experience of things going wrong and having to puzzle out why they went wrong. All right, so we're picking up speed here. We're almost at 1,000 meters per second. At some point, this thing is going to pitch up way too abruptly because of my janky script, and it's going to lose speed because of drag, but it should be fine anyway. Yeah, the Expanse does a very good job of showing stuff, doing orbital maneuvering, but you know, they don't really explain it. It's just there in the background. Most science fiction, space is like an ocean where you get to go around in 3 dimensions. There it goes. So we're going to closed cycle mode, going on to the toroidal engines here at the back. But that pitching up maneuver is too abrupt. Yeah, most science fiction movies give the impression that, like, once you're in space, like, all the gravity is gone and you can just fly here, fly there in a straight line, and it certainly doesn't work that way. Yeah, I think KSP is pretty much on yeah. If you have no kind of background in how rockets actually work, I couldn't even imagine just dropping into KSP and just expecting things to figure things out. Okay, we're doing good. 45 kilometers on our apoapsis. Now it's into the... Oh, we've gone into target mode. I don't want that. I guess we're close enough to our target. That's not exactly a good sign. Yeah, didn't I want to get ahead of this thing? I'm going to be behind it. We'll figure it out. However, I only got 3 hours until our getting out of here, so I can't spend too much time flapping about. So I launched too late. Or took off too late. It's not really a launch. What I might do is, once this thing gets to its target apoapsis, I think I might abort the script and try and see if I can finagle my encounter. This apoapsis is going to go up to 90, right? Nah, this isn't going to work. Maybe I'll just let it go. We'll figure it out. We are behind it when I should have been ahead of it. That's the problem. But who knows? No, we're not going to get a good encounter here. There's no way, because we're behind it. There it is. Yeah, we're far off. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Okay, that's my target. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to abort the script here. Get rid of this. And I'm thinking probably my best plan is at apoapsis to simply raise. I obviously got to get my periapsis out of the atmosphere. I think that goes without saying. Whoops, back on the maneuver. Of course, I got to be careful. My apoapsis is still decreasing, right? Yeah. Let's get out of space here. Or let's get out of the atmosphere, sorry. Okay. Okay, let's see what we can do to finagle ourselves a rendezvous. So the periapsis has to come out of the atmosphere. That comes without saying. Or goes without saying. But it just barely needs to come out of the atmosphere. Yeah, so I'm just going to barely get my periapsis out of the atmosphere with the burn coming up here in just 4 minutes. We'll do this manually. This thing does not have a huge amount of reserve delta V. It should be enough, but not a huge amount. Okay. There, Jeb. Are you going to have enough fuel for 2 rendezvous? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. Now, to be honest, I think there's a lot of extra fuel in the in that booster with the lander, so we can steal some of that. But first things first, as I continue on with my adventure, not exactly everything going to plan, but we're slowly progressing in the right direction. Okay, let's start this burn, but just not go that hard. So all I want is my periapsis out. Okay. So periapsis is just out of the atmosphere. I'm going to just roll this way for the solar panels. Okay. Still 268 meters per second, which I know is not a huge amount. Got good exposure on that. Okay, let's try and finagle this. So what I'm thinking is here, bring this back down to 75. This is going to be a pain. Yeah. Let's get to... I don't need maneuvers for this. Maneuvers go away. Going to go to periapsis, bring it down to 75 kilometers. And then that way we're going faster because our orbit's now lower. And we should be catching up to it. He is ahead of us, right? The lander? Yes. We'll make this work. We shall make this work. But of course, raising your apoapsis to 90 only to bring it down to 75 is exactly the kind of thing that wastes fuel. Yeah, I can fill the tanks on the STO from that booster. That's exactly what I'm thinking about. Might take a little bit. I don't think there's an extra docking port, so we might be doing a little little bit of vessel hopping. A little bit of hot swapping. That's okay. Oh wait, retrograde, dummy. Other way. Other way. Other way, Jeb. Once, you know, I give you control and you can't tell which way to burn anymore. What's wrong with you? So our apoapsis is now at 75 kilometers. Let's take away the ship. That's just confusing the situation. So all we see is our lander. So we should be catching up to the lander. And the idea here is to aim for here for our rendezvous. So what happens if we go ahead one orbit? See, with each orbit, notice how we're coming closer? Yeah, we're just going to have to keep going around till we're finally there. Now, how far in the future? This is 4 hours in the future. That's the problem, isn't it? Poop. Poop, poop, and a poop. Of course, the flips. No, that doesn't work either. Shoot. Okay, if I miss the window, I miss the window. Like we can adjust. So it's kind of cool. We got an encounter coming up here, without too much effort. But unfortunately, that encounter isn't coming. Here, I gotta go another orbit ahead. That encounter isn't coming for another almost 5 hours. Okay, what am I doing wrong? These orbits are too close together. Okay, so I'm popping ahead orbits just to see those encounter indicators. See how they're slowly coming together there? That's too far. Well, we probably have a bit of an inclination difference too. Well, here we go. We got 1.7 kilometers. That'll work, but we're going to be only there in 4 hours and 22 minutes. These guys are fine. Oh yeah, they got 2 days of life support, so that's not an issue. Okay. Might have to tweak the menu with the window. Yeah, I think so, but that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. In fact, why don't I, really quick, right now, switch over to that and fix that right now. Go over to the Ike. Doing it. Oh my gosh. Anyone who watches my streams knows I eventually get things done, but I always seem to get there in the most complicated way. But now, you know, the whole goal for this is just simply to get everybody together. So this burn is going to have to go a couple more hours into the future. But I don't think that's a big deal. So here, put it on the maneuver. Go to here and go ahead. Some orbits. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That's 5.5. Let's go one more. So we're now a whole day into the future. And I still got my Dune encounter. Yeah, I'm worried about nothing. Clearly I have to tweak it a little bit, but there, I just have to adjust the timing a little bit. It's no biggie. I even have, which I can even take some stuff off here. Make it a little less. No, that's as far as I can go. Okay. A little that way. So there we go. We still got, now the burn is 6 days in the future. So let's get back to our crew. Go. Yeah, I'm seeing Reborn saying I could go like 75 by 75. I want to minimize the amount of orbital finagling this thing is doing. So right now we got this tiny, this is going to be an RCS burn. Tiny burn, 1.2 meters per second coming up in 4 hours and 2 minutes. So these folks are just going to end up doing a little bit of time warpy fun. I just want to make sure the electricity is okay, that it's going to generate once the sun comes up. This solar panel can be a little bit finicky. The actual wings can block it, but it's fine. So there we go. It's finicky. We're going to get her done. Okay, so back onto the maneuver node here. This is going to be RCS. Nothing but RCS. So we should be seeing actually an encounter here. Yeah, we got a 5 kilometer separation coming up in 20 minutes, 19 minutes. We should be able to make that better. This is going to be an RCSer. Oh my gosh, yeah. Get a little closer. An RCSer, as they say. I don't know if they say that or not, but I'm saying it. I think that's about it. Yep. So 1.7 kilometers. We're going to be there in 18 minutes. That's always, you can save time, or you can save fuel, but it always ends up costing you time. So there was one where I could wait a few hours and not have to do nearly as much burning, and I think it was worth it. All because we launched too late, because I forgot how long that this stupid thing takes to get to orbit. Where is this target? Should be coming up to it, right? Yeah. Oh, I had my... There. I had my whatchamacalls'em off. Whatchamacalls'ems were off. Our encounter speed with this target is a minuscule 8.4 meters per second. So that's kind of nice. We'll bring down the encounter distance here a little bit. I actually went too far. There we go. Oh, I just noticed. Did I? Oh, it's coming up even close. Oh, I'm looking at this other one. Okay, that's fine. We'll ride around. I'm fine with that. Let's get the solar panels. Again, okay. Whoa, whoa. I always end up rolling the wrong way whenever I'm facing the front of the ship. My roll commands. Okay. So I was going for this intersect, but now I'm seeing here just 117 meters in 18 minutes. So we're going to do a little bit of kind of moving around him. He's going to go ahead of us, and then he's going to come back at us again. A little bit of orbital mechanical fun happening here, and now we're going to be coming closer to him again. Hello there, Subnot. Welcome. Glad you can make it. We are fumbling our way to getting all of the pieces together we need for this. Okay, we're pretty close. For our trip out to Ike and Duna. All the pieces are in orbit. They're just all in different places. Hello, technical support. Welcome. Okay, so we're coming in. There's our lander right there. I do have a docking port on this guy, but I don't think there's a free... No, there is a free docking port on the lander. Sorry, there is. No, this is going to work. There should be a docking port on the lander. 100%. I need to push this a little more this way. Oh, our approach is so slow. Such a slow approach. Okay. Trying to do as much with monoprop as I can. Oh no, I don't have as much monoprop as I think. Okay. Let's just slow this right down. I was thinking I had more monoprop than I actually have. Okay. Control from here. Oh, how about selecting that docking port as target? Roll this around. Maybe get this out of the way. Yeah, I might be stealing a little bit of fuel. Getting low on monoprop. Yeah, I know. I was just noticing that too. I was thinking I had tons of monoprop, but clearly I do not. Clearly I do not have tons of monoprop. So we're gonna be good from here on in. Probably steal this thing, I think. No, the only monoprop it has aboard is... Well, we'll see. How many units of... I have 20 units of monopropellant. If I'm good, that should be okay. I'll steal some liquid fuel. Just seeing this antenna here, I don't like it. It's in a... not a good spot. There we go. Okay. I'm glad those guides are useful. I actually have a much newer set of tutorials, but the YouTube algorithm seems to really like, well, for me, they definitely likes more of those beginner's guides from a couple of years ago than my more recent tutorials. But if you are... I do have more recent tutorials that personally I think, you know, I learn from people's questions that I get when I make those tutorials, and then I try to cover them a little bit more ahead of time when I make new tutorials. Boink! There we go! We made it! We made it, everybody! Okay, so one thing I'm gonna do before I go any further is steal just a little bit of liquid fuel and oxidizer from this. Did I make this out of a whole stack of little short cans? What was I thinking about? I don't know. I don't know what I think about sometimes. What the heck? Whatever. So what we're going to do is just, yeah, let's just go out and out. I think that should be enough. This thing doesn't need a lot. There we go. I think that's good. And then Bill's going to go over there. So crew, transfer over Bill. And apparently Valentina and Bob have a history. And we're not going to leave them alone together, so we're going to put Valentina in there too. Alright, so... Oh, and then we got an EVA bill. And we are going to... go down there and service that engine. Which was the whole purpose behind this, because this engine's on the verge of failure. So service the engine. I don't know how this thing is still working. Okay, so now the engine's practically new. So how many ignitions does it have now? It's gone from 0 ignitions to 2. Okay. It'll have to do... Well, to be honest, Bill can get out there and service it again. He can keep this engine going. Actually, the other thing I could do... I mean, this is a hecka engine here. Could I just push this whole thing there? I mean, why not? Why not? Why not just shut this down? This might be the... I was thinking of flying each of these over individually, but... Why not just... I think I can push... We'll see how it goes. I mean, clearly there's not a... I think I'm going to do that. So it's only this engine going. We got engines everywhere. I don't know why. There we go. Okay, I'm going to just take this. This will save time. I'm going to take everybody. Everything's going. This whole thing. I don't know why I put Bill and Val in the lander if I'm going to do this, but this is what I'm going to do. So, lander comes off. Come on. What was it? A ship. This is our new target. Okay, the ship is in a higher orbit. So that is something. We got this burn coming up in 1 hour and 17 minutes. Might have to push it again, but that's not a big deal if we do. So when is our rendezvous going to be? It's still a ways away. He's quite a ways ahead of us. So back to here. 1 orbit, 2 orbit, 3 orbit, 4 orbit, 5 orbit, 6 orbit, 7 orbit, 8 orbit. I think I actually went a little too far. Back in orbit. So when is this happening? This is happening 4 hours and 2 minutes. And when's the burn? 1 hour and 17 minutes. So we'll have to readjust again. But I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a problem. So. I will most certainly be getting Kerbal Space Program too. My plan, for those people that might or might not be interested, is once I do have Kerbal Space, once it's released, my first plan is going to be just to do a... Oh, God, I keep hitting the wrong button there. Is to do a blind stream. I want to do it as soon as I can after the release date. Okay. Okay, we have a 400 meter, 300... I saw a 300 meter separation. That will certainly do. So we got a 13 meter per second burn. 300 meter separation and counter speed of only 16 meters per second. So that's going to be... What do you get when you add those together? 13 and 16 is 29 meters per second. So it's going to be okay. All right, so again, I think I'm going to need to... This is going to happen in 4 hours and 13 minutes. So let's really quickly, one last time, push around. Now things are a lot more set and getting set. So what did I say? 4 hours and 13 minutes. So we're going to just push ahead that maneuver again. Okay, Subnon, I'm glad you made it. Are you planning on doing technical support is asking, are you planning to do multiplayer with chat? I don't know. I am honestly not really a multiplayer kind of guy. That's just kind of my own personality. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the multiplayer. If I'm going to be making that part of my repertoire, as it were. We'll see. Okay, I need to get that maneuver. I need to push that ahead in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 4 hours, 5 hours and 28 minutes. Again, we'll take a look at Duna. I'm sure this will be fine. Just got to tweak it just a little bit. Yeah, I can take a little off. That's always nice. That's good enough. Again, we'll be doing a mid-course correction. I'd be curious to looking at the record after this and seeing like how much, if anything, I have changed the magnitude of this burn. I don't think I've changed it much at all. Okay, back to the Dart. Back to the Dart. We're going to get these folks together. We're going to call it. So once again, sorry, I hate how I always have this plan of this is where I want to get to on these streams, and then things happening and fall short of that, but I'd love to say just smooth sailing from here, but okay, I'm going to need to make this the control point. Control from here. Yes, okay. I have no idea what this to me feels like this thrust is going to be off balance, but I think I should be able to hold it okay. I'll turn the thrust limiter way down because these are tiny itsy bitsy burns. So if I just take my time, I think I should be okay. Okay. Am I generating electricity? No, I'm not. Why am I not generating electricity? What's using up? Oh, yes, I am. It's going up. No, it's not. It's going down. Why? I got all these solar panels occluded. If I close this... Oh, I can't because there's an antenna. No, there isn't an antenna in there. Just close this. Boom. That's it. It's just in the shadow of that. Okay. In fact, I might just go a little this way. Just so the plane doesn't end up occluding the sun. Okay, let's see here. Do a quick save, change the view to free. And should be okay. Okay, 3 hours and 53 minutes to the burn. Yeah, oh, Rob DeVos thinks once I add the lander, I'm going to have to be setting up that whole maneuver again. That's entirely possible. That would be a pain. Well, it won't be that much of a pain. I should just write the numbers down. Is what I shall do. Okay. All right, here we go. This is the moment of truth. How is this going to fly? How is this going to fly? It's clearly asymmetric, but the question is, are there enough? Will I be able to hold it? Oh, the gimbal limit's right up, so that'll help. So I'm going to start the burn quite early. Okay, let's start right around now. Oh, it's holding it fine. See, it wants to drift a little bit, but it's holding it. As long as I don't, you know, as long as I keep the throttle under control, reaction wheels can do it. Reaction wheels in KSP are great. They are magical. Okay. Do the rest of this with RCS again. Got 424, 423 meter separation in 16 minutes. We're going to get Bill out once again. Bill, who has no monopropellant. That's one of the most annoying bugs I find with Kerbalism. Oh, okay, I have to get Bill here. Where's his inventory? See how there's no monopropellant up there? But if I grab that, do that, come back, suddenly he has monoprop again. Why? I don't know, but there we go. So we're gonna service. We're gonna just after every burn service this engine. Okay. Back up here, Bill. All right, where are we at? We're 14 minutes away. Kerbals have mustaches. Bill does. That is Texture Replacer is the name of the mod, and the pack that gives the different faces are diverse Kerbal heads, I think is what it's called. I left Jeb and Valentina on their defaults. Everybody else gets changed. I like them to look different. I'm really glad. I know this is a little thing, but to me, I like it. I like that the Kerbals look different in KSP2. Like, to me, it encourages you to begin to role play your Kerbals a little bit, to sort of attach a personality to them that you otherwise might not do if they were all different. So, or if they were all the same. Texture Replacer mod. That's probably not what I said, was it, John? Okay. We are coming in here. Gonna do a burn. And this is just, whoops, I don't have, this is just reducing my velocity, but also reducing the, and I want to limit the amount of ignition, so I just have a really low throttle, and, oh, I am doing the absolute wrong thing. Shoot. There we go. That's better. Reducing the amount of times Bill has to go out there and fix that engine. I didn't realize I was still 4 minutes away when I did this. Might as well stick with it now. Okay, cut it. Let's get closer. I have, every time you switch views, this goes back to orbital info, and sometimes that's what messed me up, as I saw this time to Apoapsis, and I thought it was my time to the intercept, and didn't realize I was on orbital info instead of, that's when Bill EV8ing came back, I think. I don't know. I'd have to look back and look at the recorded evidence. Okay. Gonna do another burn, try and get that encounter distance down really, really low. And then probably EVA Bill one more time. Okay, 26 meters separation. Coming up in 2 minutes. Bill, hopefully this is your last time doing this. Again, I have to do this stupid inventory trick. You know, I should leave their parachutes in the plane. Why don't I do that right now? I think there might be inventory. Oh, shoot! I just EVA Bill and then just put him right back inside again. He's still got to fix the engine, for goodness sakes. I probably have to do the trick again. Yep. You dope. I got distracted by his parachute. Okay, fix the engine, Bill. Because hopefully it's the last time doing this. Okay, engine's been serviced. Back you go. That's what you get for using a launch engine as an orbital, and what is it? An OBS engine. Whoops. Okay. Where are we at? 59 seconds. There we are. I'm not sure there are the inventory slots for all their parachutes now I'm thinking about it, but might be. Not sure. Okay, I gotta start thinking about what I'm doing here. 30 seconds from our closest approach. There are 2 free docking ports on this ship, so the plane's gonna go on one end and the lander will go on the other. But what I really want to do here is first reduce this encounter distance as much as I can. And really just... How far away? We're 100 meters, just under 100 meters. Probably can get one more ignition out of this and then that's that. Remember, lander has to go between the legs. Yeah, lander goes at the bottom end. Plane's going to go on the top end. So what I'm thinking about here, let's just zero off our velocity right now. So just zeroing out that velocity. So hopefully this should be the last burn of this engine as we spray our station or our ship with heavy particles. Okay. Undock. Wait a minute. I want to look at the inventory. That's what I want to look at. What's the inventory here? Oh, there's 4 inventory slots. That is awesome. 4 inventory slots for 4 parachutes. Going to save all the weight we can. So Bob's parachute. Oh yeah. Valentina's over here. No. Yeah. No. Jeb is over here. Jeb. There he is. Jeb's parachute. And then down here is Valentina and Bill. Awesome. Because they will have no use for parachutes where they're going. Of course, you got to remember to put them back on. Oh my gosh, let's... No, other way. Okay, I think we're okay. So we're going to undock. Control from this docking port. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Actually, no, let's do the plane first. Control from here. Oops, I hit M instead of N. Oh, I should have stolen. I should be okay. We're going to put the plane right on there, set that as a target. Do a little bit of shifty shuffle. Let's see. I cannot see the... That way. Yep. So we got to clear the lander, which is in our way. I could have oriented that earlier, but I did not. Line up, say, talking ports. Best mod ever, docking alignment, Navball docking alignment indicator. Really should be stock, but I think not enough people play the stock game for them to consider it worth their while, is honestly what my opinion of that is. Okay. Okay, down to that docking port. What's the docking button down here? This one, docking mode? I never use it. I honestly, as far as I can tell, all it does is disable the I, J, K, L keys and make them the same as the WASD keys. But then the WASD keys don't do what they used to do, and I find all of that just confusing. So I do not use docking mode in this game. Other people disagree with me, which is of course fine. People have every right to disagree with me. And if docking mode works for you, that's great. But for me, don't use it. Okay, get in there. I'm hoping my lander has not drifted too far away while I'm doing all this. I'm going to get ready to disable these... I should also pay attention to what I'm doing. Always a good idea. Disable the reaction wheels in that cockpit once this is docked. Few people play stock except on consoles. That's probably true too. Alright. And disable reaction wheels. Where are they here? Control. Or else this thing's going to get in a fight. There we go. Toggle that torque. Okay. So those folks are aboard. Let's get really... Well, they're not quite aboard yet, but their ship is docked. Where? Okay. Control from here. And you're going to the back end of this, but first things first... Oh, I don't have a target. I do not have a target. Let's give you a target. Set on target. Okay. Yeah, we're drifting away. Should I risk one more fire of that engine? Oh, it's working. I'm very pleased with that. hoping this will take me over the top of the station. Or, I keep calling it a station. It's a ship, of course. Yep, this is going to work. Oh, yeah. How much monopropellant? Not like I have an infinite supply. This is supposed to do them all the way to Duna and everything, too. Okay. Let's spin around. Oh, oh, whoa. And wiggle on in there. I'm going to try one more shot on that mainsail engine. It might be a bad idea, but honestly, of the just want to get this done type of situation here. Oh my god, it's actually burning. I'm stunned. I am stunned. It is at, oh, it still says 0. Okay, rest is on RCS. Quick save. Yeah, that's true. I don't quick save enough. So I gotta go between all of these struts, if you can see them there. I have no idea whether the booster will fit through the struts. Oh, it should. That's, oh yeah, it should. Because we had a 2.5 meter booster in there at launch. Right, that's how it got up here. Okay, R. Forward ho. Forward ho. Not the strongest of RCS. Okay, engine ho. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. Backwards ho. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I thought I had my... Oh boy. I thought I had this all lined up and I clearly do not. Okay, I'm watching. Monoprop's okay. Monoprop's okay. I thought I was actually going... Oh my god. I thought I was going backwards when I was actually going forwards. This way. Okay, we shall try again. I can't close the solar panels. The solar panels are the non-retractable solar panels, so if they break off, I got an engineer and repair kits. Something else I really didn't think about heading into this. I'm looking for the aim the camera. There we go. So you have a fair amount of monopropellant. Should be okay. The next time we're using monopropellant should be when this thing is redocking after landing on Ike. So I think... How am I doing for clearing these struts? Oh, I'm fine. Alright, now we're going in the right direction. Slowly, but going. Because I can see all these icons in a nice line. Sneaking in, not nicking an engine. Getting a little bit irradiated from the fission reactors on all three sides of us, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I only have the little thruster blocks on this lander. These are these tiny little thruster blocks because I didn't anticipate I'd have this stupid thing on here. I should have, but I didn't. Yeah, those solar panels are not retractable. If I can right-click on them, now just I cannot retract them. That is not an option. All right, so we're gonna just sneak through the gauntlet here. Yeah, I was anticipating at this point that I probably would have ditched this booster and just deorbited it and just, you know, did this all with just the lander, but I want that fuel. Is really all that's about. Here, let's disable control. We're gonna get those reaction wheels right now. Okay, how am I doing? I think I'm going straight down there. I think I'm doing okay. A little this way. How are those solar panels doing? A little, there's not a lot of room. Okay, I think I'm there. I think I'm there. It fits. Let's disable these reaction wheels really quick. Control. There's so many buttons. Control. And toggle the torque. Okay, so there we go. There's our ship. So I'm going to be I'm looking at the time. That took way longer than I anticipated, but all our pieces are here. Yes, I'm going to have to set up. I can see the maneuver's gone. I'm going to have to set up that maneuver again, but I will do that in the interim between this and the next stream. Also in the interim between the two streams, I will be doing some resource stealing, mostly from this thing, and distributing it about. And then we will be starting next week with our ejection out to Joule. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that all of these, now that we're in orbit, everything starts to go a little bit quicker at this point. But in the meantime, I'm going to thank everybody in the chat. I'm going to thank everybody watching this at a later date. And of course, a very, very, very special thank you to all of my Patreon patrons and YouTube members. Oops, did I not say Duna? We're going to Duna. I don't know what I said. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but have yourself a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you all next Thursday. Bye, everybody.